So on to the Big 12 a little bit. ESPN, not a big fan of Cody Campbell, not a big fan of letting him talk. Let's talk about this for just a minute. Since
neither is Fox. This is just stupid. And everybody's got a number, which is the crazy part to me, is like everybody has a number to run a commercial. I could call ESPN and say, I want to run a Locked On Big 12 commercial, a college football addiction commercial, and they're going to do it if I give them the right amount of money. Cody Campbell called and said, I want to run a commercial that helps save college football, that emphasizes that Congress needs to step in and do something about the NCAA amended Sports Broadcasting Act that is allowing ESPN or Fox or any of these big networks to take control of the schools, to take control of who's good, to take control of who actually gets money and who does not. Now, let me be very clear. Your TV ratings, in the same way that your stock investments, your TV ratings, the better those are, the more these networks eat. They want to have Oregon play Penn State so they can make more money as compared to Penn State playing Rutgers. They want to have these big matchups. I want my stocks to do well. But these new revenue models, these billion-dollar revenue models, as they start to go to schools like Oregon and we kill off the Pac-12 and we start to kill off the ACC and eventually maybe even the Big 12, what Cody Campbell wants to do with the Texas Tech donor, the Texas Tech grad, former football player for the Red Raiders, what he wants to do is go to Washington and say, look, we need to do away with the NCAA because conference commissioners and the association itself have all fallen victim to wanting so much money, so much greed. We've lost sight of the student athlete, and we're allowing Ohio State to become so much better than Utah could ever be. We're allowing Michigan to become so much better than Colorado could ever be. These schools were winning national championships like BYU and Colorado in the 90s. Can't do that anymore because we've created a gap through TV revenue and these deals that are billions of dollars long, but don't feed everyone. Like we want, what Campbell's saying is we want equal opportunity for student athletes, both at Virginia Tech and at Michigan. Equal opportunity for students at Auburn and at Tulane even. And you know what ESPN and Fox said? They said, take your commercial and shove it where the sun don't shine. And the entirety of the commercial was just him calling out conference commissioners saying, hey, if you're the Big 10, if you're the SEC, if you're even the Big 12, these conference commissioners need to do what I'm doing. Call upon Washington to fix a broken system. And in response to this, ESPN and Fox, the major cable companies, per Ross Dellinger, said, we don't want your money. We're not running this commercial. It is okay. It's like a treehouse, right? The concept of a treehouse is a living, breathing tree holds its dead friend. And so that's a little bit of what this would have been is Fox and ESPN running a commercial that's saying, hey, Fox and ESPN bad. And it doesn't call out the major networks. It just says we need change to make things equal for college athletes. And these conference commissioners, these networks are doing everything they can to silence Cody Campbell.
It's funny. I have long had the take, that people in administrative positions within conferences, honestly, really within maybe even some of your schools and stuff, but I'll save that rabbit trail for a different day. They don't care about these athletes, and not that your average fan is invested in these athletes' life. You like the guys that wear your team's colors. I get it. But these conference commissioners, they get up on these podiums and they talk about, we love our student athletes and we want to do what's best for them. But you only love them because they play for your university. You only love them because, or the universities that are members of your conference. Do you think the Pac-12 commissioner still cared about the athletes at Colorado and BYU and other places when they moved on? Do you think that the Big 12 commissioner, was it I don't know who the commissioner was when A&M and Missouri left. Do you think they still cared about those athletes once they moved on to the SEC? Do you think Jim Phillips, does he even care about the FSU ones now? But will he still care about the FSU athletes when they're gone? And so this idea of like, we're doing it. We get up on these podiums and we talk about, we care about the athletes. We want to protect their rights and we want to do this. We only care about them if it ultimately impacts our bottom line. Right. And let's just call it what it is. That's what the game is. And I understand it's a business for them. They're doing what's right for them. Your employer only cares about you as much as you're making them money or not costing them money, right? Depending on what your role is. So maybe that's not too foreign of a concept, but it is funny to hear about, hey, we're trying, they're running commercials all the time. Protect these athletes. I see them all the time on ACC Network. Protect these athletes' rights and, protect women's sports and all these other things. Make sure that NIL is equal opportunity and this, that, and the other. there. And when it really meets the road, not only do they not care, they will do whatever they can to silence people who are trying to do what's right. Cody Campbell certainly wants what's best for Texas Tech, but again, he's fighting for something that's so much bigger than just Tech. Yeah. He's fighting for college athletics in general as somebody with a lot of money who can make things happen, can influence situations, can influence the direction of not just our sport, but all college athletics. And ESPN's like, and Fox and others, nah, dog, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. You run ads for whatever you want, whatever propaganda you want, whatever cause or social justice or whatever you want. But don't bring any of that stuff in here that might cost us money or make us look bad. We're not with that. And so it is hilarious to see ESPN just be like, and again, Fox, others, I won't just lump ESPN with it.
Sure.
Just say, nah, we ain't having all that.
Yeah, that it is. To an extent, I understand you don't want to run. I mean, if somebody paid, actually, let me backtrack on this. If someone gave me $100,000 a year to run a commercial in the middle of my show that says Locked On Big 12 is the worst podcast all time and we should boycott it, I'm probably taking the six figures. I mean, I'm probably taking the money. So before I even go off on ESPN here, I think. What they're missing two things here, and this is a conversation about marketing. TJ, ooh, buckle up, everybody. Number one, they're missing the money Cody Campbell's going to give them to run this commercial. Two, you're missing good PR. Like this is an opportunity for you as a network to say, you know what, fine, we will take your money and we will display your message and we'll prove you wrong. We'll prove the little man wrong. Instead, if you start to, now we're getting into a history lesson. There was marketing, now history. The French Revolution, the more you suppress the speech, the more you kill the messenger, the more you take the guy who started the movement here and you say, nope, you can't speak, we're throwing you in jail. That's how the actual revolution begins. And it's what they're doing to Cody Campbell. And so that all sounds very aggressive, but it's a good metaphor. It's a good way to tie back in that Cody Campbell, the more he's silenced, the more people start to jump on, the more grassroots this effort becomes. And as we know, when an effort begins grassroots and there isn't that huge financial backing, that's where the emotion comes into play. That's where people start to live for the story. They start to buy into the not the ethos necessarily, but yes, the ethos, not the logos, not the lot. Wow, now I'm Greek, not the logic.
a language lesson too.
The ethics, the pathos, the emotion. That's what's great about what Cody Campbell's doing. And honestly, it's kind of what's great about ESPN, Fox, these major networks saying, nope, we're not running it, is now more people can buy in and Cody Campbell can say, look at me, I'm the victim, I'm the underdog. Look how the big boss doesn't want me to speak. And people are going to buy into that as they should.
Yeah, we don't have the reach that ESPN does. I understand that, but we wouldn't be talking about it today had the commercial aired. Yeah. We would not have done videos on this. And so our little part, right? Thousands of people will now see this and now be invested and do the research and talk with their buddies and share it in their group chats and all of those things. And listen, I don't think, Drake, you've probably been on here 50 times and then we've done multiple segments. We've probably done 150 videos together. I've never once asked for people to share a video that we have done. We ask for likes or subscribes or comments or whatever sometimes. If you've never shared one of our videos before, I'd say this one would be a good one to share. Not for Drake, not for myself. I don't care which channel you're watching this on. This would be a good one to share because that's how grassroots efforts do impact change. In fact, I don't ask for shares in many of the videos that I do.
If you unsubscribe from us and share, I mean, there you go. Like now we're going one for, we're not benefiting, but college football is. Yeah. Resubscribe later.
It truly is. Yeah. Don't leave us forever. But if you want to, one for one, you could downvote it and share if you need to. Whatever makes you happy. But yeah, if you were ever going to share one, it'd be this one because the little guy should win. It's funny to talk about Cody Campbell as the little guy, but again, it is up against ESPN. So yeah, if you were ever going to share one, this is how movements start. This is how change is impacted. So we'd ask you to do that if you could.
No doubt. Hey, sorry, pause. Today's show is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is where I go to win money. Love it. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Every day we make decisions, but on PrizePicks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss the excitement of this football season with PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. You go in, you pick like 3 or 4 guys, even 2 guys. Josh Allen, passing yards, over. Saquon Barkley rushing for a touchdown. Bang. Put them together, put more or less on them, any of that jazz. And if that all hits, you get money. Also fun to follow other players in the app and copy their lineups with just one click. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code LOCKEDONCollege to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Code LOCKEDONCollege for $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Be right today with PrizePicks.